Break the board sports, week 8 college football, best bets. Let's hop right into it now. Click that like, hit subscribe. Let's start with the first one, my favorite one. Notre Dame hosting USC. Notre Dame laying 9.5. Your over-under is 60.5. Right now, 69% of bets, 62% of the handle to the over. 31% of bets, 38% of the handle to the under in this one. Now that 9.5, everybody is on the trendy dog USC, looking for them this week, getting the 9.5. There's actually a couple 10s out there right now. 77% of bets and 64% of the handle going to the way of the Trojans from USC. Only 23% and tickets and 36% of bets going to Notre Dame. When you start diving into the trends of this one, and I really think there's some good value here, maybe both ways, but we'll see what we can get out there for you. Looking at Notre Dame, 14-4 ATS their last 18. Marcus Freeman did an absolute phenomenal job. Notre Dame 17-3 straight up their last 20. Now, the over is cashed 6 of the last games, 6 of the last 8 for both USC and Notre Dame. And more importantly, head-to-head, the over is cashed 6 of the last 9. Notre Dame, probably one of the best offenses in college football. They, since those first 2 losses, Texas A&M and Miami, which were both nail-biters, Notre Dame, though they haven't played anybody, has been on a roll. USC's been facing some stiff competition. We had them last week for a double unit against Michigan on the money line. Got that to come home for us. USC, though, on the road, a much different team. 1-6 against the spread over their last 7. Now, they're 6-1 straight up their last 7, but just 1-6 straight up their last 7 games against the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. If you go to their matchups again, USC comes in 5-1, 3-3 ATS. Notre Dame comes in 4-2 straight up, 3-2-1 ATS. Head-to-head, like we were talking about, Notre Dame last year won by 14. The year before won by 28. They've been absolutely dominant here against the Trojans as of late. When you look at home and away splits and trends as a dog and as a favored, as we refresh those and get those up for you, again, click that like, hit subscribe. I think Notre Dame in a money line parlay with a Georgia has extreme value there. I can see if maybe you wanted to tease USC, but I would be careful taking the points with USC. I get it. It looks good. They're the trendy dog, but I think this dog has fleas. Again, Notre Dame just high-powered. It's in South Bend, which makes it even tougher. And the fact that that line hasn't dropped despite more than half of the money being on USC. Again, at home, as a home favorite, straight up 9-1 is Notre Dame, and they're 8-1 ATS, their last 10 as a home favorite. As a road underdog for USC, they've lost 10 in a row straight up and are just 3-7 ATS as a road dog. So kind of fits the bill there of what I was saying. Again, we're going to put Notre Dame in a money line parlay. I love them with Georgia minus $1.32. I also like them with Alabama minus $1.40. So either way there would look to play it. Speaking of Alabama, let's get into that one. Tennessee goes to Tuscaloosa. Tennessee, another trendy dog this week. Alabama laying 8.5. Your over-under is 59.5. 69% of bets, 68% of the handle going to the over 59.5 with 31% of bets and 32% of the handle going to the under. Now that 8.5, we talked about Tennessee, another trendy dog, 72% of tickets, 62% of the handle going to the Tennessee Vols. 28% of bets, 38% of the handle going to Alabama in this one. Now, Alabama and Tennessee both come in 5-1, but Alabama's been really good against the spread, 4-1-1 this year compared to 2-3-1 for Tennessee. Now, last year in Tennessee, Tennessee was able to get the win. They've actually taken the last 2 in Knoxville. Last year, Tennessee won the game 24-17. The year before that in Bama, 34-20. And the year before that in Tennessee, remember the big field goal. Awesome game there, 52-49. Alabama has taken 8 of the last 10 meetings between these two teams. I look for an offensive output from both of these teams, obviously, just how they move the ball. Tennessee averaging 527 yards per game, almost a full 100 yards ahead of Alabama's 431. Now, Tennessee is giving up 394.7 yards per game, a whole 100 yards more than Alabama gives up. So really, I think this whole Alabama defense versus Tennessee offense is where it's going to come from. Tennessee's averaging 48.2 points per game. Again, about 7.5 points better than Alabama, who's averaging 34.8. Alabama, 36th ranked offense in the country. Tennessee's defense giving up 29.3 yards or 29.3 points per game compared to that Alabama defense giving up 17.3. I can see why people want to take the balls here and why it's trendy. I just really like Alabama to win the game. Tennessee has beat them 2 out of the last 3 years. I understand that. But that was in Neyland Stadium, an electric place, like Tuscaloosa, an electric place. Listen, the over for Tennessee has cashed 9 of the last 10 games. But for Alabama, the under's cashed 9 of the last 13. Head-to-head, the over, 9 of the last 13 times it's went over. Now, Alabama, we talked about it, 4-0-1 ATS their last 5. Tennessee 5-1 their last 6 straight up. But listen, this is why I say I love Alabama in that money line parlay with Notre Dame. This is what it really all boils down to. Straight up, Tennessee is 2-16 the last 18 times they played Alabama. Yes, it's been 2 of the last 3 years, but again, both of those were in Neyland, not in Tuscaloosa, 2 totally different things. And Tennessee is just 6-13 against the spread the last 19 games that they've had to square off against Alabama. Again, I like Alabama in the money line parlay. I think you can get a lot of value with that. That's going to be the route that I for sure am taking this week. Listen, the Holy War going on in the state of Utah. Utah at BYU. This one is going to be an absolute barn burner. Right now, Utah laying 3.5, over under 49.5. Now, again, ticket count and handle aren't the same. Ticket count on the over 49.5, 59%, 41% to the under. But that 59% of tickets on the over is only equating to 35% of the money on that, as to where 41% of bets on the under is accumulating to 65% of the handle. So big discrepancy there. Right now, 60% of bets going to BYU catching the 3.5, as to where that's only translating to 31% of the handle. 40% of bets going to Utah, but that's accumulating for 69% of the handle. So again, huge discrepancies there. Utah 6-0 and 4-2 ATS. Utah comes in 5-1, both straight up and ATS. Now, head-to-head, Utah has taken 8 of the last 10 meetings, but here's the problem. BYU's taken the last 2, including last year in Utah, winning that game 22-21 over Utah. Some other trends for you to help your handicap. And again, click that like, hit subscribe. That's what we're about here, giving you trends and angles to bet your own games to help you become a better handicapper. Utah 6-1 straight up their last 7. BYU 8-0 straight up their last 8. Now, head-to-head, the under is cashed 4 of the last 6. And remember we said just a couple minutes ago, the under ticket count is low, but it's translating to high handle. I always tell you, that's a qualifier that more than likely you're talking about sharp money. BYU, however, has gone over 10 of their last 15, and Utah's gone over the total 7 of their last 10. Now, Utah, 7-1 against the spread their last 8. And more important, they're 12-5 ATS their last 17 versus BYU. There's a couple threes out there. I grabbed it. I laid the 3 with Utah. I also put Utah in a money line parlay with Alabama. Then I money line parlayed them with Notre Dame, kind of sprinkled that around there. But I'm high on Utah in this game. Now, the last 10 games as a home underdog for BYU, they're only 6-4 straight up. But they do have a good ATS, hence that 3.5 hook, 7-3 ATS as a home dog. If you like BYU, I can certainly understand at home catching 3.5. Now, a road favorite straight up, Utah 7-3, but 4-5-1 ATS their last 5. So hit a little bit of a lull there. But again, I think Utah, I hate going with all these favorites, but I think that's the way to go in this game with Utah. At least that's the way I'm leaning. If you're zagging the other way, hey, I can totally understand getting that 3.5, getting that hook with BYU. Texas Tech and Arizona State, and I think this one can be sneaky good. Now, listen, Texas Tech has proven themselves to be one of the better teams in the country for sure, but I like the spot, right? Spots matter. Right now, Texas Tech laying 7.5, and 82% of tickets, 66% of the handle going to the visiting Red Raiders, as to where Arizona State is only getting 18% of bets and 34% of the handle. More importantly, Arizona State was without their starting quarterback last week. They get him back this week. I think that only helps them. Now, that over under 50.5, things are pretty split with that right at the moment. Last year, these two teams played in Texas Tech. Texas Tech won that game 30-22. Before that, you got to go all the way back to 2017 when the Red Raiders beat them by 7. Now, when you get into some trends to help you with your handicapping here, and you look at this game between these two teams, Texas Tech 6-0 straight up their last 6, and 5-0 against the spread their last 5 on the road. But Arizona State 10-3 straight up their last 13. Arizona State has won 9 straight games at home. Just absolutely incredible. Now, that over, 7 of the last 10 has cashed to the over for Texas Tech. They're 6-0 ATS their last 6 games. But more importantly, Arizona State, 10-3 against the spread their last 13 games. For Arizona State, when you put them in the position of a home dog, right? Home dog, Arizona State has had some success. They're 7-3 straight up their last 10, 9-1 straight up their last 10 at home. But last 10 as a home underdog, straight up 3-7, and ATS 4-5-1. So they've struggled a little bit. As a road favorite, Texas Tech 5-5 ATS the last 10. I grabbed the 7.5 with the hometown Arizona State Sun Devils. I like them catching the 7.5 here. I think it's really good value. Again, it's a buy low spot. This same Arizona State team was in the college football playoff. Now, I know Scadaboo's not there, right? We see him doing big things in the NFL, but I really like what I see from Arizona State. Again, they get Levitt back at quarterback. I think that makes all the difference. I'm going to take Arizona State plus 7.5. We'll wrap it up with one more here. Boise State laying 13 in the MAC against UNLV running Rebels. This is a great one, going to be really good. Right now, that laying 13 is Boise State on the blue turf. That over under 60.5. Now, we talk about the ticket count and the handle not matching up and how that's an indicator for you. 73% of bets to the over 60.5, but that's only accumulating to 28% of the money. People think Boise State, UNLV, they're going to think over the total. Kind of my Lee Corso moment. Not so fast, my friend. Only 27% of bets going to Boise State, 72% of the handle. Now, that laying 13, 61% of tickets, 47% of the handle, likes the dog UNLV. 39% of tickets and 53% of the handle likes the running Rebels there of UNLV on the blue turf there. When you get into some more trends here to help you with your handicapping, UNLV, 10 straight wins and 4-1 ATS their last 5. Now, however, Boise, 5-0 ATS, and here's what's more important. Boise State, 4-1 ATS the last 5 meetings when they've ran up against UNLV. Boise State, 14-3 straight up their last 17 games. And what's more important is Boise State has won 15 straight games at home. Why is that important? It's tied with Alabama for the longest winning streak in college football now. UNLV comes in 6-0 straight up, 4-2 against the number. Boise State comes in 4-2, 4-1 ATS. But Boise State obviously has had much different competition than UNLV's had to play. Last year, these two teams were in Boise for the championship game, 21-7 Boise. Before that, they were at UNLV. They played twice last year, won 29-24. Again, Boise's beat them 8 straight, but I like the running Rebels here. Give me the 13 with the Rebels. If they're ever going to hang in there on the blue turf, this is the time. Again, I could see Boise win this game by 7 or 10 for sure. I could see even 31-20, but give me UNLV plus the 13. So just to recap, Notre Dame, Georgia, Alabama, kind of parlay them around on the money line. Throw Utah in there on the money line, some 2-team parlays. UNLV plus 13, one of my better plays of the week. I really like them in this spot. Also, for Saturday, love a two-team moneyline parlay, Georgia and Notre Dame. Like that a lot. We didn't touch on it, but another one of my favorite plays, Colorado State minus $1.40 on the money line at home against Hawaii. I know James Franklin is out. I know Penn State season is done. Give me Penn State plus the 3 in the hook. I like them in this spot. I'll take a chance on the Nittany Lions. Again, check out all of our content. Hit like, subscribe. 2 to 4 pieces of content a day, breaking down each and every sport, giving you trends and angles for you to handicap your own games. I'm RJ Cash. God bless and happy handicapping.